before we get there to the results of conjunctions with Rahu and Ketu, there is this Navagraha Phalashruti. That means this comes up when Navagraha Stotra is there. There is a Phalashruti below it. So Navagraha Stotra goes like this: Japa Kusuma Sankasam Kasyapeyam Mahadyutim Tamorim Sarva Papagnam Pranatosmi Divakaram. I think most people know this. If you do not know right now, there's nothing like it. Every language has it. You can just download. The best remedy is have a chant every day in the morning. If you think things are not going your way, it will have all the 9 planets mantras. These are very simple. Usually these were taught when we were like kids, going to like third standard or fourth standard, fifth standard kids, so that we remember it for life. So please have a note of Navagraha Stotram, just in case something is not going your way. The best is to chant this by yourself. You don't have to spend on remedies for lakhs of rupees. These things will work very, very well. Okay. All right. So the Phalashruti means what are the planets going to give? After having read the Navagraha Stotam, the Phalashruti will tell you what each planet has to offer. It will be a very simple stotra, one-line thing. Arogyam pradadatuno dinakaraha. Sun is going to give you health. This is what the first line would mean. Chandro yasho nirmalam. There is a reason why I am giving you word by word meaning, and this I will connect it to Rahu and Ketu. Okay, please hold on your horses, just in case you think, why am I wasting so much of time? Okay, Chandra is going to give you yashas. Yashas means the fame and the name. Yes, and nirmalam, that means being pleasant, calm, contented. What is the other one? Being a little composed, and not worrying too much. Okay. What is important with Rahu and Ketu is Rahu and Ketu are the biggest enemies of the luminaries. So because Rahu and Ketu were they were Rahu and Ketu, the whole story revolves around the sun and the moon, because sun and moon complained that Rahu came into the row of the Devatas and they are also taking the Amrita. Okay, so whenever Rahu and Ketu are with the luminaries, the results are much, much higher. Not necessarily every time you get a bad result. Okay, result will depend on the Lagna, obviously. Never blindly judge any horoscope saying, oh, there is a Saturn Ketu combination. Oh, Saturn is work, Ketu is breaks in work. So you have Saturn Ketu, you have breaks in work. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Okay. It depends on a lot of things. It depends mostly on your Lagna. First thing is, because Saturn is the overall karma. Okay. Ketu may represent breaks, but we'll come to it. So Chandro Yasho Nirmalam, and then Bhutim Bhumi Sutaha. Bhutim can mean the Aishwarya. Aishwarya means the prosperity. Okay. Bhumi Sutaha is the Mars. Mars is considered as the son of the earth, right? Bhutim Bhumi Sutaha. So our people knew that Mars is exactly like the earth long ago. Okay. So, and earth would mean prosperity, as we keep talking, right? Sudhamshu Tanaya Pragyam. Sudhamshu means the moon. So, okay. Tanaya means the sun. Moon, sun is Mercury. Mercury is going to give you the pragya. Okay. And Gurur Gauravam. So Jupiter is going to give you respect, right? You are going to fetch a lot of respect in the society, right? Kavya Komalam Vagvilasam Atulam. Kavya Komalam means the Venus. Vak Vilasam, that means the power of communication, the play that you will do with the words. The better the words are, the better is the understanding, or the better you are a poet, or your speech is really eloquent. You have a greater command over the language that you're speaking. You can play with your words. Atulam, that means unmatchedly. Okay, give me a second, okay? Sorry. Okay. So Gurur Gauravam, the Jupiter is going to get you the respect in the society. Kavya Komalam, Vagvilasam, Atulam. Atulam means that is unmatched. Nobody can give you the kind of play of words that Venus will give you. Mando Mudam Sarvada. Mando means the Saturn. Mudam means happiness. Sarvada, always. So Saturn actually gets you happiness. Okay. Rahur Bahubalam Virodha Shamanam. Bahubalam means, as everybody knows, we have all must have seen Bahubali. So the strength of the arms, okay, is from the Rahu. Or in other words, if there is a difficulty, and if you have to sail through it, right, people with good Rahu will feel that, yes, there is a difficulty and difficulty is an opportunity. Let me encash this difficulty and turn this into an opportunity and, show my power, strength, excel in this difficulty. And this is where I'm going to stand out and say, look, this is how difficulties have to be handled. Either I become a guru, or I try to repeat this again and again and become a Mercury, wherein I keep earning money, or I keep facing difficulties, excelling, and try to teach other people excellent, and then also make money. Okay, because Rahu is the materialistic fellow. Virodha Shamanam, that means the destroyer of the enemies. So Rahu is trying to destroy enemies. Okay, Ketuhu Kulasya Unnatim. Okay, so Ketu is going to give you the Unnati of Kula. That means it is going to give you children. Okay, so Ketu is going to give you children. A lot of people think Ketu is a bad planet, Rahu is a bad planet, Saturn is a bad planet, etc. It is not like that. Each planet has a role to play in your life. Right. So as we have understood this, the basic principle of Rahu and Ketu is Rahu tries to enhance something. Okay, Rahu tries to enhance something when it is with a few planets. Rahu also tries to, modify a few planets when it is along with them, right? And Ketu, most of the times, it is trying to cut off the energy that the planet possesses. It tries to chip off the radiance of the planet. This is what we have understood in the past two classes. So we'll also keep that in mind. I'm not trying to say that let's use this shloka alone and, leave rest of the thing that we have understood all through these two classes. So keep this in mind that Saturn will give you happiness, santosham, or mudam. Mudam means santosham, right? Sarvada, always. So now when you get to see conjunctions, right, for any of the two planets are conjoined, always look at what degrees each of the planet is and how many degrees they are away from each other. If they are very far off, the effects are going to be lesser and lesser. If they are very close by, so usually what people say is any planet with less than any two planets, the degrees difference, if it is less than one pada, one charana of the Navamsha, that is 3 degree 20 minutes. If there is less than that, the difference is, the longitudinal difference is less than 3 degree 20 minutes, then the effects are going to be much higher. If both the planets fall in the same Navamsha, so if you have seen in the Rashi chart, two planets are conjoined. If you go and see in the Navamsha as well, if they are conjoined, the results are higher. If you look at the degrees and see that they are exactly on the same degree, the results are much, much higher. This applies for all the planets. Okay. So let's get into what Rahu has to offer for us. When Rahu is conjoined Sun, right? Usually Rahu tries to enhance the effects of Sun, because Sun is a planet which gets the directional strength in the 10th house. Wherever Sun is, it always has the light, the most light being passed on. We've talked about this in the Sun's classes. We've got 5 classes of Sun. You need to understand everything about the Sun. Okay, there's no other way. Sun and Moon are extremely important planets. So wherever the Sun is, you count 4 houses from there. That house receives the highest amount of light. Everybody knows that. Okay. So now it means that Sun is extremely powerful in the 10th house. Okay. Rahu is also a materialistic planet. And Sun tries to rule. Rahu also tries to rule. Okay. So Sun and Rahu are royal planets. So your royalty is going to go up. Right. So your ego will go up. Your confidence will go up. So let us suppose your Sun is, you made some calculation and felt that the sun is a lot weaker somehow. I'll tell you how to make those calculations, etc. Do not go by the softwares, the Vimsopaka Bala or the Shad Bala or anything. None of the softwares will work for you. You have to use your brains. We'll come there when we talk about the planets. But just in case you found that Sun is not enough strong, Sun is a little weak. If there is a Rahu alongside him, the Sun is going to be a lot stronger. Okay. One example is, let us suppose if it's in the Saturnine houses, the Sun is in the Saturnine houses, Sun usually is thought to be weak. Although Saturnine houses also it likes, because Sun rules all the Rashis. Sun is actually equally strong in all the Rashis. There is no Rashi where Sun is not strong. Sun is very strong in all the Rashis. However, because I do not want to generalize things, because what happens with the generalization is people will be born in a month, they'll all have Saturn at a place, and they all will think, oh, my sun is bad. Please don't be of that opinion. For any reason, let us suppose you have concluded that the Sun is a little weak. When Rahu adds up to it, it will repair the Sun. It will enhance the Sun to its extent, the extent required, right? So when you don't have enough Sun, what can happen is you can be shameless, as we have talked about, because ego, self-respect, and not having any shame. These are the 3 levels of ego. One should not be shameless, right? So when Rahu is conjoined Sun, the advantage is the person cannot do cheap things. He doesn't bother about the cheapest things. So he's going to enhance the ego of the person, and he would say, look, I cannot do cheap things. I cannot go and beg. I cannot steal. Because, I'm a royal guy. If I'm caught stealing, what happens is people would point at me and say, look, you look so royal and you're stealing. Are you behaving like a thief? Okay, this is what the Rahu and Sun would be worried about. So, usually what we joke at in the office is, when you want to take a person into marketing or sales, if you've got a very great Sun, right, it's too difficult to go and ask an order with the customer, because usually what happens is the salespeople go into the customer's office, talk to them, and they usually request for an order. Sir, I have targets. I'm not meeting my targets. If you can help me with the order, I'll be grateful to you, and all that stuff, because that is what the expectation will be of the customer. I'm not very sure about the US, because my counterparts in the US as well said that, look, we have to go talk to the customer and ask for an order. But if the person has a very great sun, the problem with him is he will not be able to ask for an order because it will look like, look, I'm trying to beg. If he feels that I'm worth of the order, and he would definitely give it to me. I mean, I cannot bow down in front of him and say, look, sir, why don't you help me up with the order, etc. I can't do that. Okay. So it can work both the ways. So a person who has got a very good sun will be very highly egoistic. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Ego is very much important for a person to win over something, because the self-confidence as well comes from the ego, right? Look, I cannot be failing, right? I cannot stand last in the class. I have to stand first. That is what the person will, go forward. So sun is also looking at more money making. Sun wants the 10th house. So same as Rahu. So money making is very good, right? There can be extremes on physical health. I would suggest when the sun is in exaltation, right? Or when the sun is in debilitation, right? And when the sun is in own sign, right? And when the sun is in directional strength, right? When the sun is in Maranakarakasthana, the 12th house. These are some of those special places where sun will be very sensitive, I will say. Sun is very sensitive. See, let us suppose you won a lottery of I don't know, maybe $1 billion, assume. What would you think? You will be on cloud nine, you will be partying, and you'll expect that nothing bad can happen to me, right? So when the sun is exalted means very happy. Sun is extremely happy, and sun thinks that I have got $1 billion lottery. Nothing can go wrong about me, and I'll not take much care of myself. If in that place, the conjunction of a Rahu or a Ketu happens, right, that is when it will be very critical. Okay, so either when the sun is very exalted and their conjunction of a Rahu, let us suppose sun is on the 9° 50th minute, that is where the Ketu or the Rahu tries to eclipse him on the same degree. It has to be on the same degree again. 9° sun is there, same 9° Rahu has to be there. Why I'm saying 9° is because that is the 10th degree of the Aries where sun is in deep exaltation, right? So when sun is in deep exaltation, sun thinks I've got $1 billion. Okay, and sun is extremely powerful, or sun is extremely glowing. And in that glow, sun forgets everything. And that is when if that happens to be an eclipse, that is when the effects of bad or good both can be extreme. Okay, so that means it is a very sensitive thing that is going to show up, that is going to play in the horoscope. Otherwise, if sun gets into Rahu gets into sun, and if they are like 5, 6, 7, 8 degrees apart, usually what I have seen is good results. And more importantly, if the eclipse is already over, meaning Rahu is actually traveling backwards, sun is traveling forward. So when you look at in a conjunction of sun and Rahu, this is very important for any planet, especially the luminaries. If the sun and Rahu are in the same Rashi, sun is ahead in degrees and Rahu is behind in degrees, it means that Rahu has already traveled through that place. The eclipse already happened and sun is out of the eclipse already. So it means that now the sun is shining a lot brighter. The reason is when sun was with Rahu a few days ago before the birth of the person, sun did not shine and all the energy was in the sun itself. Now the sun is shining much, much better. Okay, so in that case, you have usually a powerful, bright, shining sun. Keep this in mind. I'm not saying this is going to give you good result for sure. Is this going to add up to your ego? You know, let's suppose you've got by the D10, if you look at, and you've got only a marketing job, which is target based, wherein your boss will say, look, you get 5 orders, you get commission. Otherwise, you cannot get any money to your home. by the D10, you have to judge that. Now you come back to D1 and see you've got a Sun Rahu combination wherein you can't go and beg, because ultimately if you're asking an order these days to a customer, purchase order is like going and begging almost, right? So in that case, your Sun on that side is struggling. However, despite all that, you cannot do a wrong thing or a bad thing. You cannot steal, borrow. Even to borrow as well, you have to say it in front of 10 people that, look, I don't have money, please give me some money. It's extremely difficult for Sun Rahu people to go and ask or borrow. Rather, they give away a lot of money, right? Because they think they're royals. Now I'm the king, and the other person who came up to me is my citizen. So let me give some money to him. He's not having money, right? Okay. Whenever the nodes join, the Rahu or the Ketu, both the cases, there will be some difficulties to father, because Rahu and Ketu, they are affecting the third and the ninth house mostly. If you look at the exaltation of Rahu happens in the third house, the natural third house. Ketu also happens in the natural ninth house. So, I mean, there are mixed opinions on the second and eighth house as well. People are taking, but I'm using the third and the ninth house. Okay. So for that reason, when the nodes are along with the sun, there are some difficulties for the father usually. Either he has some health issues, or he has some, the father got cheated somewhere, or father is not able to establish himself in the career. He has some health issues. He's not able to settle at a place. He has changed multiple cities. There can be anything that the father was a little unsuccessful person. Or father is still successful, but he did not achieve that kind of a height he was expecting. He's still a rich guy. This can also be possible, depending on the other conditions that you have to see. Okay. However, if this happens in the third house, ninth house axis, this is more and more prevalent. This is more and more showing up, right? So Sun and Rahu can also add up to your creativity, because Sun is focused on the fifth house, right? And Rahu can add up to the creativity. Now, Moon as well. I'll take a lot of time with the Moon. Okay, let's do Ketu as well alongside Rahu. So when Sun conjoins Ketu, I mean, the closer it is, the more it is applicable. So it destroys ego, can become shameless. The person doesn't want to go to work. Okay, it is more with the Sun actually. The person cannot go to work. The person actually struggles a lot more. It's not with the Saturn. It can be with the Sun as well, because it goes into the 10th house, right? Disinterest in money making, right? And the person may have extremes in physical health. Either he's physically very good, or he's physically not doing that great, right? The father's difficulties are both common. Disinterest in creativity, or interest only in the orthodoxity. The person who has a Sun Ketu thing wants an orthodox thing. He doesn't believe in something getting created. For an example, if an astrologer has this, what he keeps thinking is everything is in the books that the Parashara wrote or the Varahamira wrote, or everything is there in those books only. Anything that adds up further on with the research, etc., it becomes very difficult for this person to accept, because he thinks creativity is not allowed. Okay. I just gave an example. Okay. The more the closer the Sun and the Ketu are, it will depend on that. And also the fifth house as well, because fifth house is the Ketu. Fifth house is the Sun that rules the creativity. So the fifth lord, etc., also will rule creativity. All right. The Moon. So Moon, as I said here, Chandro, Yasho, Nirmalam. When we come back to Sun, Arogyam, that means the health. So the nodes, when they are with the Sun, they can affect the health of the native as well. Okay, just be clear on that. Okay, because Sun and Moon are very sensitive to nodes when they are together. They are very sensitive to nodes. It can happen it can happen for the person, the native himself, or where the conjunction is happening, or what the Sun is ruling. Okay, so any of these three things can happen. Or sometimes it may so happen that, I remember showing up a horoscope which has got Sun exalted on the 10th degree. Ketu was alongside it on the same 10th degree. The Lagna is Vrishabha, that means the Taurus. And when we counted 4 signs from it, the girl was deaf and dumb woman, because there is a Mars in the Aslesha that shows the debilitated Mars on the 27th or 28th degree, because the snakes do not have ears. She became deaf first, and then she also eventually, became dumb because she couldn't hear anything right from the start. I mean, right from the birth. So there is something that is very sensitive about the sun. What I have seen with a lot of people is, oh wow, the sun is exalted, there must be something very good that is happening. Not necessarily. Okay, when you have great exalted planets, they are very sensitive. If your Venus is exalted, your Venus is very sensitive. Okay, you're very sensitive to relationships. Your relationships are standing out in the public. You shouldn't be standing out in relationships. You should do normal in relationships. That is a lot better than your relationships are standing out and they are in the papers, right? I mean to say, let's suppose if you're quarreling with your spouse and that appears in the papers, is that a good thing? Bad thing, right? I mean, any good relationship is not published. Bad relationships are usually published in the papers, right? So Chandro Yasho Nirmalam. So the moon can bring in the moon Rahu or the moon Ketu can bring in some disturbance with respect to yashas. Yashas means the name and the fame of the person, or nirmalam. That means calm, composed, mental composure is ruled by moon. So either there is a problem with the mental composure of the person when the Rahu is very, very close to the moon, or there is a name and fame issue. So there is a bad name or there is a very good name. Both can happen depending on, I mean, do not think, okay, there is a moon in the Taurus. Oh, Rahu is also in the Taurus. Moon is exalted here, so it is going to be a good name. No, it cannot be like that. It cannot be like that. It can still bring in bad name in a few things. It will bring a very good name in a few things. Okay. So there is, the yashas is sensitive now. So that means the name is sensitive thing with respect to the nodes. So there will be, so the person is standing out with respect to the yashas or the mental thing. So either the person has some mental issues, is not able to, maybe he has some, what do you call that? A delusion. What is the right word for it? The person becomes, he hallucinations.
Maniac. Maniac is the word.
Maniac. I wouldn't say maniac. Hallucinations, and looking at things. That's the height of the hallucination. However, assuming that something has not really happened, but he keeps thinking that, oh wow, this happened, and he believes that this happened, and he keeps moving in that direction. Okay, that also can mean nirmalam. That means the person is composed.
Imaginary world.
Imaginary world. Thank you for that. I actually keep forgetting the simpler words. Imaginary world. So the person becomes a little imaginary. He gets into hallucinations at the very last stage when the moon is on the very, very, close to either the Rahu or the Ketu. However, most times it affects the name and fame of the person, or it affects the mother's name and fame, or it affects where the conjunction is happening. Let's suppose it is happening. I'll give you an example. The example is Lagna is Pisces, moon is in the Taurus, moon is conjoined Rahu in the same degree. I believe it's in the 3rd degree in Taurus. So this is happening in the 3rd house. Okay, so the moon and Rahu are conjoined in the 3rd house. The brother of the native got married to a woman who is who is not from the caste. They are from an Orthodox family, but he married out of the caste, completely out of language, out of state, completely stranger to that community. So there is a yashas problem there. So the family earned a little bad name out of it. Okay. So it depends on the society that we are living in. I'm not saying that is a bad thing or anything. I'm not trying to show that it's in bad light, etc. In certain communities, it is very accepted. In some communities, it is not very accepted. That is what it will show up. If it is accepted in your community, it may not still show up, because if you look at in some states, marrying out of caste, marrying out of state is a pretty common thing. They don't bother much. Okay, so in that case, it will not show up. So in this case, it will show up because this community is a very closed community. They are getting married only in that community. They are looking at gotras and all that stuff. So there is some bad name that crept in. Okay, that is how you have to see. I'm not trying to show something in bad light or good light. Okay, there is no mental issues or anything in that case. So what I'm trying to tell you is, some people are trying to jump in and say, oh, Moon and Rahu are in the same degree, there will be some mental issue. Not necessarily. Moon Ketu also not necessarily. Saturn Ketu not necessarily. I want to break those stereotypes. I know all of you people must have those things in mind. Oh no, I have got Saturn Ketu alongside each other, so there is something wrong with my Saturn. No, nothing. Not always. Okay, not always. The reason is Saturn and Ketu are going to be together for so many days at the same place, because they're slow moving planets. So how can you expect that it is going to be a bad thing always? Okay. So, I mean, I know there are, I don't know, Shrapit yoga, I don't know, Pishach yoga. There are so many yogas, and people are making videos around them and trying to, put everything in. They're trying to show as if everything is gone if you have a Shrapit yoga, etc. It's not like that. It is not like that. Only thing is, you may get a lot of views in the YouTube because they want to see, oh, there is Saturn Ketu in my case. So there will be a lot of people who will have Saturn Ketu. Everybody will open up the video and they want to see it. That is why they get most videos. But as astrologers, we have to understand it from the Lagna standpoint. You have to use the Lagna and then look at what Saturn and Ketu are doing to that Lagna. Even if the Lagna moves it by a degree or two, then also the whole chart will change. Okay, because especially when you're looking at D30, when you look at disease, D30, that moves very fast, right? If you're looking at D60, it moves in seconds, right? So, I mean, don't stereotype something saying, look, Saturn, Ketu. I dislike stereotyping. You cannot have stereotyping. Sudam Shutanaya Pragyam. Okay, so Moon improves comforts. So Moon Rahu conjunction, because Moon is comforts, Rahu enhances comforts. So it can so happen that Moon and Rahu can also increase the comforts, or it will increase the daha, that means the thirst for money, running behind money, because Moon is illusion. Rahu again is illusion. Moon wants more comforts. Rahu wants more money. So the person can be running. But Moon actually doesn't want to work. Moon is lazy. Rahu is not lazy. Rahu would push the Moon. So the laziness will be gone and the Moon will be balanced. Even that can happen. So that can break Moon and say, look, laziness is not accepted. You have to move forward, right? Or it can increase laziness as well, because Rahu enhances the Moon and Moon thinks I'm lazy. So let me increase my laziness. Even that can happen. More comforts means more laziness. That's what you should understand, because Moon rules the 4th house. It can increase your laziness as well. The person becomes a lot lazy. He would be sleeping in the afternoons as well, not interested much in, because Moon loses directional strength in the 10th house and Rahu enhances it, right? There will be some difficulties to mother, like I said, for Sun and Rahu. There can be difficulties for father. Moon and Rahu, very close conjunctions can bring in little difficulties for the mother. The difficulties can be, sometimes it can so happen that those difficulties are required, and such difficulties may also appear. How can you say that they are required? See, if you have to excel in life, the more the difficulties that you're facing, they are only going to get you upwards. If you're not facing any difficulty in your life, it is impossible to excel. So what I'm saying is, Parashara wrote books, or Varamira wrote books, keeping in mind the kings who did not have to face any difficulty. For ordinary people, the more challenging the positions of the planets are, the more challenging the life is going to be, and more is the chance to work, more is the chance to excel. Okay. So never think that 6, 8, 12 are bad, Moon, Rahu bad. Do not stereotype anything. So there can be extremities on mental health as well from the Moon. So the next is Mars alongside, okay, Moon Ketu. Interestingly, Moon Ketu is also, it can destroy the stability of mind. The Nirmalatva, or Nirmala means something that is plain. You are sitting on at the shore of a lake, and all the water is still. There is no waves in the lake, right? It's a still water. You throw a stone into the lake, there will be current, right? So that is what Ketu will do. The moon is Nirmala, very, very calm, doesn't want to move. Actually, moon is the most fastest moving thing, but it shows immobility as well, because it wants rest. It doesn't want to move, right? Actually, that is how the whole logic is. Constantly changing plans of life, Moon Ketu. Not able to settle in life because it represents the 4th house, Moon Ketu. Ketu is looking at disturbing the whole thing, because he wants to create a doomsday and then rebuild it again. So the person, he tries to push the person into difficulties, and is not able to settle at a place. Nomadic life will be there. Every 3 years, 4 years, there is constant transfers. Extremes on mental health. Either the person is very good at mental health, he has a very great clarity on what has to be done, he's like a saintly thing, or the person is completely disturbed, suddenly gets very angry, he behaves like a lunatic kind of a person. Difficulties to mother again. Both the cases, difficulties to mother will exist, because these two are luminaries. Now Mars and Rahu. Okay, I keep juggling between Ketu and Rahu, so just be careful. Sometimes both will give you same result. Okay, so Mars is aggression. Mars is doing the work right now. Mars is a Senapati. That means the army commander who is working under a king. So his job is to receive orders and do it the immediate minute. He cannot keep things in pending. Rahu is also of the same kind. Rahu does not want to be lazy. He wants to go and run, right? Although he doesn't have a body to run. So wherever he conjoins with a planet like Mars, he'll be the most happiest. Oh, I've got Mars, I can show more and more aggression, right? So it is going to enhance the aggression of the person. It is going to increase the heat of the person. If you've heard the Dipanshu Greek classes, he would say Mars and Rahu will make more heat. Extreme heat will come from that thing. So it can show a fire accident, it can show cancer, it can show extreme heat. Okay, so sudden energies. Okay, and also difficulties to brothers, because Mars is the Bhatrikarka, and then extremes from physical aggression. Depending on where the Mars is and where the Ketu is, usually, where the Rahu is, it also changes a lot of things. But what you can see is this can also bring in a lot of hard work into the person. So if other planets are just like that, not much. But if there is a Mars Rahu combination, the person is extremely hard working. Even that can be taken up, provided you have them in the 10th house, etc. Okay, but anyway, you have to see the D10 for it. Okay, I dislike commenting or concluding just with the D1, but ultimately the result will come from the D1. You have to come back and see what the D1 is saying, and the result will come from there. So in the D1, you can speculate these are all those things that can happen, and from the D10, you can see what can be specifically happening to the person. Okay, once we touch upon D10, you will get a lot more clarity. Okay, Mars and Ketu. Mars and Ketu is, okay. Mars and Ketu is unclear aggression or weak in aggression and avoiding conflict. The person may be avoiding conflicts. He's not very interested in, because the energy of Mars is cut off by Ketu. Mars is aggression. So the person's aggression is a little cut off. This can be useful also. Let us suppose the Mars is very, very big. and the Mars had to be cut off. That can bring in, composed nature of the person. The person tries to analyze things from a very, very different standpoint, and that can also help in the career. Okay, never stereotype anything. Okay, there can be some issues for wherever the placement is Mars Ketu when they are very, very close. I'll give you an example. What is that? It's a Leo Lagna. Mars and Ketu are in the 4th house. A lot of people think, oh, Mars is in Scorpio. It is an own sign. Ketu is also in own sign, so you will get all good results from it. No, not necessarily. Now Mars and Ketu are in own signs. They are very strong to give result. Whatever result will come. Okay. First thing is Mars is the 4th lord. Ketu in alongside it. So Mars is also the 9th lord, 4th, 9th lord, 9th lord along with the Ketu. So father had some mental problems. Okay. Also, father died early because the 4th house Mars will indicate that the mother may lose the husband, right? Because Mars is a bachelor. I've explained all this in the Mars class. Whoever is new here, go back into the Mars class and see. Okay. And the third thing is because it's in the 4th house, Mars Ketu conjunction, that caused pneumonia or that caused lung congestion. It's a woman thing. She doesn't smoke, no bad habits, pure vegetarian. But there is some lung congestion thing, and she doesn't know where from it came. No family history. But if there is a little cold, there is lung congestion. So what I'm trying to say is never go by the face value of the thing. I mean, you have Mars in the own sign. Oh, Ketu is also in the own sign. No, actually, Mars and Ketu are exactly two different opposites. Mars is trying to have a goal in place because Mars exalts in the 10th house. Mars also has directional strength in the 10th house. Ketu is exactly opposite of what Mars is. Ketu doesn't have a directional strength. He does not like doing anything. Ketu is exactly opposite of what Mars is. Do not do anything is what Ketu says. Now, if they're together, they are trying to achieve two different objectives sitting at the same place. So there is a conflict of interest, right? So there is more turmoil there. There is more turbidity there. There is more difficulty there because both of them are very strong now. So that is what you have to look at. The sensitivity increases when the planet is in exaltation or own sign. It is more and more sensitive for conjunctions. Exalted Mars, there is a conjunction, there is some problem. Exalted Saturn, conjunction, there is some problem. You have to look for it, what those are saying. Never clap for exalted planets, okay? They are very sensitive now. I'm not saying you have exalted planets, there will be a bad luck or anything. I'm not, again, don't stereotype, okay? My only request to you is, a lot of people are thinking there is an exalted planet, they're clapping hands, and they have a debilitated planet, they are weeping. This is not how it works. That is what I'm trying to say. It can be both ways. Okay, Mercury. There can be mental, okay, Mercury, Rahu. Mercury, Rahu. Mercury is an earthly planet. Rahu is also an earthly thing. We've talked about this. So Mercury, Rahu conjunction will make the person run for money, run for material things, run for, run for future, run for accumulating money, run for intelligence because Mercury is intelligent. And try to read everything, whatever is available. The closer the Mars, the closer the Mercury and the Rahu are, the more the person is reading, trying to get knowledge from all directions, always trying to be earthy, always trying to, get more and more prosperity, get more and more money. So Mercury Rahu conjunction will make difficulties to the competition or Jupiter. Wherever the Jupiter is, there is some problem to it, or where the Jupiter rules, there is a problem there. Okay, and the person is extreme on morals. The other person is very, very moral on the conduct, extreme on it, because the intelligence gets to you to a level, right? When you understand that level, if you're very, I would say an extremely intelligent person is lot moral. He will try to follow all the ethics because that is what the extreme intelligence is. Because if you know there is an afterlife, if you know what happens to you whole through the process, and you don't have to do anything unethical to be successful, if you know this, it's very, in about, let's say about 15, 20, 30 years ago, even now, a lot of people think that if you're very ethical, it becomes very difficult for you to earn money, or it becomes difficult for you to be successful in business. It's not like that. If you're very knowledgeable, and if you know how to manage your things, if you have the intelligence to work on and excel and show to the world, it is more easier rather than, being unethical. Just being, saving a few bucks on the tax, etc., cannot make you, rich. A lot of people do not know this, so they fall into that trap. So there can be extremity on the morals. So either the person is very ethical or very unethical, depends again on what positions the Mars Rahu conjunction is happening and what planets are aspecting it, etc. So there is extremity in the moral thing. And interest in languages, interest in logic, interest in programming, because all these are Mars and Mercury and Rahu. Logic, programming, flow charts, semantics, syntaxes, how it has to be written, presentation, using the right words, all that stuff comes from the Mercury Rahu thing. Let's go into Mercury Ketu thing now. Mercury Ketu. Mercury Ketu, what you can see is Rahu is logic. Ketu is believing in some miracles. Okay. And so either there is some mental problems to the person, to wherever the Mercury Ketu is sitting, or it is the mental difficulty of the native himself. Okay. And also it's so that, I'll give you, how do I give an example? Rahu is if I compare Mercury Rahu and Mercury Ketu, Mercury Rahu is such that he believes in what is being told. Mercury Rahu believes in what is being said. Mercury Ketu believes in who is saying it. Okay, in one way, if this guy says it, okay, there's a lot more believable, is what Mercury Ketu will think. What Mercury Rahu will think is, okay, somebody is saying something. Okay, I've got a brain up my this thing. So now I have 17 brains, one brain of Mercury, 16 brains of Rahu. I'll put all that thing in a mixer grinder and let me understand, okay, you're going to say something. Okay, please keep saying. Okay, I'm having a note of it. I'll try to analyze it with my brains. And then if it fits the logic, I'll use it. If it doesn't fit it, I'll either throw it or say it on your face that, look, it's not working. Mercury Ketu is not like that. They think that, look, the other person has, some powers, or the other person is elderly, the unusual thing that the Mercury does not accept, because Mercury is logic. Mercury doesn't accept it. Ketu tries to cut it off and says, look, these things can be possible. Okay, this is one thing. Second is interest in philosophy or the Vedanta or Nirasa. That means, the world is all black. It's going downtrend. It's all gone. The world is not going to improve. Okay. The Nirashavada. Okay. That means, not interested. I'm not having great expectations from the world, all that stuff. Okay. The great knowledge of invisible, it can also, because Ketu is microorganisms, microbiology and all that stuff. So having an interest into it, or looking at things in a very different way. You have brains, you have a general physical brain. You're looking at a thing in a particular way. You have Mercury Ketu, your head is not there for the Ketu. Now the thinking is completely different. So the person hears to news, he hears something, then he will analyze it in a very different way. He will think that, okay, this news has come. So this is what the ramification of it will be, or the consequence of it will be. This is why this statement is being told. Nobody in this world will have such kind of a concept. This happens more and more if your Mercury and Ketu are very, very close, right? And the extremes of money, because Ketu can also give you money. Okay, Ketu can give you money coming out from, you don't know from where money is coming. So somewhere the money is coming, or you don't know from where the money is going. So the extremes in either being rich or very poor. Mercury Ketu can make you very rich. That comes out of luck. Okay. Mercury Ketu can make you very poor. That comes out of luck. Okay. Or rather bad luck, or whatever luck you want to name it. Okay. Difficulties to competition and difficulties to Jupiter. Again, because Mercury and Ketu are together. Okay. So the next is Jupiter, Rahu. A lot of people think this is Guru Chandala Yoga, Jupiter Ketu, Jupiter Rahu is a bad yoga, Guru Chandala Yoga. Oh, everything is doomed up. Okay, you pay me 2 lakh rupees, 3 lakh rupees, I'm going to give you a dosha parihara and all that. See, Jupiter is going to stay in a Rashi for 1 year. Rahu will stay there for 1.5 years. So all those people born during that time will have that Jupiter Rahu. There are so many people who are doing very well. Only 10 of them are doing bad. So you cannot say that Jupiter Rahu is the culprit. I mean, that's not the right thing. Please do not stereotype things. It is not going to work. Jupiter is morals, ethics. What my father said is all true. Okay. Patriarchy. Jupiter is all patriarchy. You cannot challenge what was said by elders. This is what Jupiter is all good about. Okay. Jupiter will say, I'll give you an example. Jupiter say, what does Jupiter say is, let us suppose a question is asked. Okay. Jupiter looks at who is asking it. Okay. Jupiter looks at who's asking it. Is he the prime minister of the country who's asking me the question? Or is he the the labor, somebody who is working outside my home is asking that question? If it is the prime minister of that country asking the question, the Jupiter is not afraid. Okay, because Jupiter thinks I am this, and he's the Raja. The Raja rules the country. Okay, so I am his praja and I have to stand in front of him with folded hands. This is what Jupiter will think, because this is what my father has taught me. Because he is in that mode. Rahu is exactly the opposite of it. If he is a Raja today, tomorrow somebody else will be the prime minister of that country. Why are you standing up in folded hands to him? Rather, you are an astrologer, or you are a Pandit, or you are a teacher. If he is an IAS officer's son or a car driver's son, how is he going to be different? What if he goes back and complains to his IAS officer? Is he going to remove you from your position? No, right? So you will all obviously say your son has not studied well. That is why I had to teach him a lesson, right? This is what Rahu keeps thinking. Jupiter is always afraid to say something against what is what is the moral thing, or what is ethically being followed, or what is a practice, what is an SOP. That is what Jupiter will follow. Rahu will say, I mean, forget SOP. Something is going wrong, I have to go and fix it, right? And I'll make a jugaad. I'll try to do maybe leave 5 steps and do the 10th step straight away, right? So this is what Rahu is. So there can be enhancement of Jupiter, or see, Jupiter rules the ethics, right? The morals, the overthinking of what he will think or what the other person will think, because Jupiter is constantly focused on the public. 4th house exaltation, what he might think. If I am going to make a rule like this, is it going to affect any of the category of the people that are living in this particular country? If let us suppose if he's a lawmaker and he's making law, then he'll think about each society, of the whole society, there will be so many communities. Is there that will be an injustice to this? So he will ensure that no injustice is happening. Okay, so Rahu can enhance that. Or Rahu is trying to give Jupiter the kind of, the kind of tactic he implants into the Jupiter's brain and say, look, you can twist your words and say everything is written, but you can do with these loopholes. Right? Let me write these sentences because I don't like these communities. So let me write these sentences for these communities so that they are marginalized. They don't get the opportunity, right? So that can also happen with the Jupiter-Rahu combination. So that is why it is called Guru Chandal Yoga. Or it can also enhance the Jupiter to be even more ethical. So already Jupiter is ethical. Now he is over behaving on the ethical side, right? So that is what people thought. Both ways it can be wrong, but it can be very, very useful when you're trying to devise a law for a place, or you're trying to write an SOP. Then these people with the Jupiter-Rahu combination or Jupiter-Rahu in trines to each other, these people are very good at making rules or SOPs or long rule books, wherein, if you have to write 150 rules, then these people are very good at writing. They will say, this is the first rule, then comes the second rule, then comes this flow chart, then comes this, then comes that, then comes this. Very good at devising such things. Okay, because these people know where people are going to commit a mistake. Where are these people going to find a loophole? So let me block all those. Let me choke these people with all the rules flooded. Nobody can break my rule. I'll make a rule book in such a way, so tactfully, that nobody can break the law, right? If they break it, they will be caught, right? If that is the case. Or if I want to take an advantage of it, then I would say, look, for me, there are no rules applicable. And for everybody else, there are so many rules applicable. This is what the Jupiter-Rahu can be. Today, the world has changed. Today, it is not a king thing, right? We are not kings. We are ordinary people. Sometimes Jupiter-Rahu is very essential for that person to excel in life. That is why God has given him that Jupiter-Rahu. For him to be at least successful in this life, Jupiter-Rahu can make you extremely successful. And you know what people will do to do, all that tactics. Why this guy is coming and talking up to me? There is something. Okay, this is the reason he's talking to me. Okay, I understand it. Now let me lock him like this. Now he's out. That's it. You cannot challenge these combinations. Jupiter-Rahu. It's very difficult. Similar like Mercury-Rahu. The closer they are, the more difficult they are to challenge, because they know how to make the law and they know how to break the law, and they can choke you up with all their rules, right? Now let's get to Jupiter-Ketu. Again, as I keep saying, you always have to use Lagna. These are very, very, primitive rules. Okay. Jupiter-Ketu. Jupiter-Ketu can destroy, or it can bring in disbelief in conventional education. Jupiter can, Jupiter is looking at comforts, because fourth house exaltation. Jupiter is looking at not doing much of work. Framing rules is what Jupiter is very good at. Does not want to work. His job is like, I want to frame rules. Let me not do any work. These people, with the framework of the rules that I gave to the society, people will work. Ketu is going to help that more. So it is going to bring in, not even the rules you make. You leave everything. Don't do anything. Become a monk. Become a nomad and all that. Disinterest in money making or disinterest in peacemaking. How calm, composed you are also will depend on your Jupiter. Okay. People with very good Jupiter, very calm and composed, even when somebody is trying to, if Raja is giving a danda, or Raja is giving a punishment, the kind of reaction that you will give, it will depend on how your Jupiter is. Or if there is a difficulty is coming to you, how are you going to react is also will be dependent on Jupiter. Okay, so are you going to be composed and try to understand how you're going to work will also depend on Jupiter, right? So disinterest in money making, because Jupiter is looking at making little money, coming home, eating with the family. This is what Jupiter is looking at. Jupiter is happiness. I agree with that. But Jupiter is, if you have to tie all the family together, you need some money to live. This is what Jupiter is focused on. Jupiter is focused on complete work-life balance, right? If you have work, if you have life, you have to balance both. That is why it is the fourth house, exactly in the center of the first and the seventh houses. So the center is balance. right? So disinterest in money making, because Ketu will stop you from money making. Or if you have a fight, or if you have a conflict with someone, Ketu Jupiter will stop making peace. They'll keep poking that thing so that the war is always in place, because Jupiter rules peace and Ketu rules the war, right? Because that is where the Ketu exalts, in the Uttarashadha, and Jupiter is on the peace side, where it is in the Punarvasu Pushmi, right? Punarvasu Pushmi place. It is in the Pushmi first pada. So both are doing two different things. Although Ketu exalts in the Jupiterian sign, he is ruling the war, right? So breaking rules, Jupiter is the rules, and Ketu is breaking rules. So Ketu can also think in a very different way, not like the Jupiter. So this can also be very useful if you are studying something like a subject like Vedanta, or the philosophy, or if you're studying a subject which is very unconventional, not many people know about it, okay, or you're trying to unearth something that is not known to the world. You want to bring out something very, very different subject. That is where Jupiter Ketu also can help. Okay, because Jupiter is wisdom, or Jupiter is knowledge, and Ketu is a study of something which is very unconventional, right? Jupiter Rahu, Jupiter Ketu is also considered difficulties to religion or difficulties to guru, because religion will be promoted by Jupiter, and Rahu is the person who obstructs the religion. Rahu says, what religion? Why religion? Religion is not needed. All that you need is go work, party, sleep, come back to work, party and sleep. That's it. Why work? Why religion? Religion doesn't do anything. What is it doing? It's doing nothing. Let's not follow any religion. Our religion should be money making, right? But Guru says, no, it's not like that. You need to be morally correct. You need to be doing all these things so that your afterlife is good, right? That is what Jupiter is promoting, your afterlife, because it comes after the 8th house, right? Rahu would say, look, what afterlife? You are in the 3rd house. Look, I'm coming from the 3rd house. I'm born and I'm Rahu, right? Because usually if you have heard the Panchagiri classes, 8th house is death, 3rd house is where you're born, which is very right? Because from 3rd house is where we come in. And Rahu would say, I'm born in the 3rd house. So the moment I'm born, I'm Rahu. I want to make money. I want to cry. I need milk. I need everything. I need comforts, without which I'll be crying, right? That is Rahu, right? So Jupiter, Ketu can also make, because Jupiter is peace, and Ketu is not making peace. So there is worrisome nature of the person. The person is constantly worried for something, and you do not know what the reason for the worry is, right? Venus, okay, let's go to Venus, Rahu first. So Venus, Rahu, what a lot of people think is, oh, there are a lot of relationship outside the marriage because Venus is enhanced, etc. I don't deny. However, you have to look at the whole horoscope. Just not merely having Venus, Rahu is going to give you all that. Please don't make such things. But what I have understood from Venus, Rahu is, these people are such a personalities where, there is a lot of magnetism. People get attracted to these people. They will, by their looks, or sometimes even the person is not very, he's not like Amitabh Bachchan, or he's not like Sylvester Stallone, etc. He looks like very ordinary person, but still a lot of people like the person, or somehow, I don't know why. Not very great in talking as well, not very great at presentation as well. I know a few people, I don't want to quote names for my own reasons, but not very great in presentation, not very great in talking, may not know the right language. Despite all that, there is this magnetism in that person, because the magnetic nature comes because of the actions the person is doing, right? Anything, the magnetic nature will come from the aura that you are giving out, the radiance that your body is generating. So these people are heavily attracted by everyone, especially the opposite sex. So the men are being helped by the women. The person keeps saying, look, his wife, I know very well. She keeps helping me, and she's a good friend of mine. So this guy actually holds the business, And because I and her are very close to each other, we meet at the same pub or we meet at the same club. So we are good friends. And she keeps pushing him to give me business. And that's how I get business, right? These are such kind of people, Venus Rahu. I at least know 4 or 5 people who have this, but they needed to be really close. If the Venus and Rahu are very apart, then this may not still show up. And the Venus is exalted in the 12th house, which causes spending of money. Venus is looking always at spending money, or showing it to people that, look, I am so rich, right? So Venus is always focused on that, and that is why there is expenses due to Venus. Wherever your Venus is, there your expenses are, and you're wasting because your Venus and Rahu are together. Your 12th house is more and more, and there is a lot of money that is being wasted. And also Venus is a brand guy, so the brand thing is being enhanced, and a highly passionate person to do something. Okay, there can be a different religion of the spouse. There can be interests in relations outside the marriage. The person may be a little promiscuous. It depends, again, as I say, it depends on the D9. Without looking at D9, please do not analyze these promiscuous or marriage relationships outside the marriage. Don't analyze them. I would say refrain from such things. It is a lot easier if you refrain, because you don't unnecessarily spoil your mind with all that. All right. So finally, Saturn. There is a big thing about, okay, sorry, Venus Ketu. A lot of people think Venus Ketu is a very bad combination, etc. I don't deny, but there can be very good things as well. So Venus Ketu, when they are very close conjunctions to each other, that can destroy marital life. Again, as I say, you have to look at the Navamsha. If you want to say solidly that, look, the marriage is over, okay, or the marriage is very good, anything that you need to talk about marriage, even a word, I would say, always comment only after you have understood the Navamsha and the Dasha. It can so happen, I'll tell you a few examples. Everybody is a learned person here. So it can so happen that Navamsha may show divorce or a death, etc. of the person. But if the Dasha operates after 65, 70 years, what happens then? It can so happen that the death of the opposite partner is happening, right? And he or she is living on. So I mean, just merely looking at D1 chart, some people are commenting and saying, look, 7th Lord, 6th house, 7th Lord, 12th house, etc. They don't work. Please don't jump. Or Venus Ketu, especially the BNN people, the Bhrigunandinadi people, Venus Ketu, whenever they see, they're jumping and saying, look, your marriage is gone. No, not like that. If the Venus and the Ketu are on the same degree, yes, I agree. Venus is on, I don't know, Venus is on, I don't remember what the chart was. The full details, I don't remember. Venus and Ketu, yeah. Venus and Ketu are in the 7th house. The 7th house is Taurus. The Lagna is Scorpion ascendant. 7th house, Venus and Ketu, exactly on the same degree. The husband died very soon. Okay. So same degree they should be. Now what happened is, because it's the 7th Lord as well now. 7th Lord also behaves like Venus. So 7th Lord dispositor, everything is in Taurus, and all of them are afflicted by Ketu in one single go. So that is why neither the Shukra, because Shukra is the Venus, the 7th Lord, its dispositor, all are afflicted by Ketu in all the charts, right from D1 until, you can go till D60 or even D150. In all charts, they will be together because they are exactly on the same degree, same minute and same second. Okay, maybe till minutes, not the seconds, but exactly the same. And that is the case, and that's a different scenario altogether. Otherwise, general Venus Ketu, I have seen there can be a few issues of differences for various reasons of Venus and Ketu is not interested in the married life. So those clashes can be there, those conflicts can be there. Will there be a divorce? Will there be a death or not? You have to definitely see it from the Navamsha. Okay. Venus related businesses, like the beauty parlors are ruled by Venus. Anything that rules the beauty industry, the UX, the graphics, the computer graphics, the UX of the software industry. Today, a lot of people design the UX screens or anything of the front end or anything that works on the beautification of a something, or you're doing an interior design of the homes, etc. All these are related to Venus, or selling of flowers, perfumes. All this is Venus. Right? So Venus Ketu may destroy that business. Not necessarily every time the marital life, or that is the only thing that is going off. It can also kill a business, right? Increasing expenses and wastage, like Venus Rahu did. Denies comforts or costly things, because Venus is comforts. It can deny comforts. The Venus and the Ketu is trying to chip the Venus off. So it may deny a few comforts, it may deny a few costly things. This is what usually you will get to see. Venus Ketu are together. It may so appear as if the fourth lord is very good and so on. So you may come to a conclusion wherein the person may own a very big large car or a large house, but if the Venus and the Ketu are together close by, then maybe there is not such a big home or not such a big car. Okay, however, you still have to look at car. If you want to have a look at car, then you have to see the D16 home for sure. You have to look at the D4. There is no exceptions. I will say, if you are following these rules, they are going to work like gems. Otherwise, if you're just depending on Venus Ketu, Venus Rahu, etc., you're going to definitely fail 90 times out of the 100 times. 10 times you will be winning due to fluke. Please don't be on that side. And Venus Ketu can also mean Venus's relationships with people, smiling and talking, being in touch with each other. This comes with Mercury as well, because Mercury also ensures that everybody is in contact with the other, because Mercury rules the nerves. We've talked about it. Venus as well rules the relationships. So Venus Ketu, most times Venus and Mercury are together. So if they are together alongside the Ketu thing, then with none of the people, the relationship is very great. However, how do we see relationships? We always have to look at from the Tithi first. We'll look at the Dagdha Rashis. I'll teach you in a few days, starting how to see relationships. That will be the starting point for the Navamsha. For you to look at marriage, we start from Tithi. So the Tithi in which you are born is ruled by a planet, and based on that, we have Rashis that going to Dagdha, etc. I'll explain all that stuff. Please wait for it. Once these planets are over, the next class we will do on Rahu and Ketu's positions. Maybe it will take 2 classes from here. From there, we will do the Navamsha or the relationships. It will be a big series again. Maybe it will take a lot of time. I want you people to focus on Navamsha before going into anything else. From there, we'll take it to Dashamsha as well. That is when the preliminary thing will be over. Maybe we will look at the advanced things. I think it will take another 40-50 weeks easily for Navamsha and Dashamsha, the basics to be covered. Okay. Different religion of the spouse, not passionate to run. Okay, because Venus is looking at running. Venus is the most aggressive planet. We've learned about all these things in the Venus class. You need to combine all those stuff. Okay, a lot of people think Venus is a Shanta planet. Oh, no, it is not. Venus is extremely passionate. Venus is running constantly, right? Saturn. Okay, a lot of people think Saturn, Rahu, Saturn, Ketu, Shrapit Yoga and all that. Put all of that into a drain. Do not generalize. Do not make stereotypes. Doesn't work like that. Saturn, Rahu, the first thing is the closer they are, the difficulty is high, because Saturn is the Santosha Karaka, right? Mando, Mudam, Sarvada. Saturn is going to give you happiness. So when you have Saturn, Rahu, Saturn, Ketu, the problem with the person is not happy, right? The happiness is eclipsed. The person is constantly worried about something. This can be for two things. One is he wants to work, he wants to excel, okay? Or the other side is he doesn't want to work, doesn't want to excel, and there is continuously some or the other thing that is pushing him into the business or into the into the work which he's not interested. So Ketu and Rahu are challenging that. Ketu and Rahu are pushing the person in the wrong direction. That is why it is a Shrapit yoga, is what people think. However, if we can make the native understand, look, this is how the D10 is placed, so this is what you have to do, and move in this direction, the things are going to be a lot easier. Then from there, it will be like a good cakewalk for him. Okay. So Saturn Rahu, the first thing is very good, beautiful, curly, nice hair. The hair is, extremely black, dark, even after good age, no early age graying, etc. And long hair, okay, and increases difficulties or challenges for the person, right? And so this can do two things. One is the person is facing hardships. Okay, so the person is facing hardships. It means that there are two kinds of people then with the hardships. One is with the hardships, the person is trying to achieve something. The other one is because there is hardship, he keeps thinking that, look, why I've got so many difficulties and he's not doing anything. How do we decide? That is, look at the 10th house, look at the D10, what the D10 is saying. So is it pushing into the hardship and giving up everything and saying, look, why nothing is moving? You talk to any successful person, right? All successful people will say, look, I have failed for 5 times. I kept on trying. That is when the 6th time I'm successful. Saturn Rahu, the problem is they will think that everything is working against them. Their effort is very less. But if their efforts are very good for different reasons, then they are going to face challenges and they're going to excel. Okay. How do you look at it? As use Navamsha, use the other houses. I mean, always use the houses. Easy giving up happiness. So if he has to give up his happiness, his 4th lord has to be badly placed, right? So somebody has a Saturn Rahu combination, his 4th lord is badly placed. The Saturn Rahu can help him because he wants to give away his comforts, do something. Okay. All right. I mean, I would say 4th lord badly placed, dispositor badly placed would mean it's not very good for mother, right? That's a different story. All right. So extreme lethargy or extremely running to find more and more and more work. So as I said, it can work both the ways. Anyway, I've done 5 times. The God has not helped me. Let me not do anything at all because everything is going against me. Either I do it or not. Anyway, I'm going to fail. So let me not do anything. So that is one way of Saturn Rahu. The other way is, okay, there is this challenge. I have overcome this challenge. Next is I have another challenge. I will overcome that. Another one, I'll overcome the next one. And he's ready for challenges. Right? Diseases and deaths in the family. Again, you can look at it from D30 and also Navamsha. Navamsha is extremely important. If you have to see luck, bad luck, tough luck, all that. Okay. We will get there eventually. Difficulties to the eldest in the family. Whoever is the most oldest person in the family, Saturn Rahu is going to give difficulties for them in one or the other way. Okay, there can be challenges. If he is a male person, challenges in finding work unless a lot of travel is done. Okay, so because Saturn rules the 12th house, I mean, Saturn is the Karka for the 12th house. Rahu enhances it. So the person has to travel a longer distance. The old man has to travel a longer distance to find work. This can be one. Or he's actually having a problem in the legs wherein he's not able to move. That's why he's not able to find work. Okay. And there is extremities in karma. Either the karma is very good or the karma is very bad. So Saturn Rahu can give extreme riches or extreme poor conditions as well. Both will be there. Okay. If the dashas, always look at dashas, always look at Navamsha, always look at Dashamsha. never conclude just using Saturn, Rahu, or any for that matter, any of that stuff. Okay. Saturn Ketu destroys the stability of career. Again, I keep saying, so Saturn Ketu, the person, can be of two ways. One is he has a job that only he can do, or maybe 5 more people on this, on this earth can do. The closer they are, he has some talent wherein only that person is doing that job. Nobody else can do that job. He has such a kind of a skill. So he has to find that skill, try to excel in that instead of just doing, what the regular people are doing. However, always look at D10 for confirming anything related to profession. Please don't jump and say, oh, I've got Saturn Ketu, so it's all bad. No, not like that. Doesn't work like that. Also, the Lagna is important. Where is that Saturn Ketu? Is he in the Lagna? Is he in the 10th house? Is he in the 4th house? Is he in, where is he? That also is extremely important. The whole chart is going to change with that. Okay. Extremely difficult work the person is doing. It takes a lot of time for him to, do something like a painter, right? I know a few painters who do great painting, and only he will do it, right? A painter cannot delegate some of his work. Okay, I'm a painter, so I have a team of people who will be painting, so I'll do half of it and I cannot delegate it to anybody else. Such is the kind of work with Saturn Ketu. So the person cannot delegate work to others. He has to complete the whole work. That is Saturn Ketu. Right? Difficulties to the eldest in the family. Once again, extremes on karma. Saturn Ketu can also, if they are very, very close in conjunctions, like less than 1 degree, then there is baldness. Okay, baldness on the head, or there is less hair on the head. Okay, or there is an issue with walking, or the person is not able to walk. Saturn also rules the legs, right? More or less, this is what I have got in store for you today. Let's talk about the placements of Rahu and Ketu in the next class. Anybody has any comments, any questions? I'm open. No one has a question? Good, Ustad.
So wait for me. I have questions. Just 1 minute.
Okay, Abhilash has a question.
Namaskar, a quick question.
Yes.
You were talking about the degrees of Saturn or any planet versus Rahu and Ketu. And if they are very closely, meaning 1 degree apart, then you were
correct.
talking about some implications. So
Yeah.
I want to understand the degree means 3 degrees of Rahu or Ketu and 5 degrees or 4 degrees of the other planet. Is that close or
Yes, they are
opposite way
close.
around?
They are close. They are very close. 3 degrees Rahu, 5 degree Saturn. Very close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. But they should be in the same Rashi, okay? You can't have Saturn is in one Rashi and Rahu is in another Rashi. No, that is a different thing. I'm saying both should be in the same Rashi and then being 1 degree apart or maximum of 3 degrees apart. Got it?
And somewhere I was reading, I may be wrong. I want to understand the thing. Like 3 degree Rahu or Ketu is equivalent to 27 degrees or something of the other planet. Is that not true?
No. No, you're talking about the Atmakarka calculation.
Yeah,
That is
somewhere I'm
that
seeing
that
that.
is an entirely a different thing. We will come up to it in the Navamsha thing. We'll talk about it in the Navamsha. For
Okay,
now,
thank you.
let's focus on what the degrees are as they are.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I have a quick question.
Yes.
So, can we consider these conjunctions like the Rashis? For example, if you say Sun and Ketu, or we can consider is Ketu in Leo? No, right?
Are you saying, can you repeat your question? So are you saying Sun and Ketu are conjunct? So can I assume Ketu is in Leo? Is that the question?
Yeah, no, the same impact if Ketu is in Leo. Those Sun and Ketu are not together. It's
Why-
not the planets, but the ruled.
Why do you
Rashi.
have to do that? Anyway, Ketu, you have learned the nakshatra. So if Ketu is in a particular nakshatra, use the nakshatra and get that result rather than being dependent on the planet.
Okay.
What I'm trying to teach you today is if a planet is conjunct Rahu, it is not that the Ketu conjunct a planet. If a planet is conjunct Rahu and if a planet is conjunct Ketu, that is what the objective of this class is. So how does Sun behave if it is conjunct Rahu? How does Saturn behave if it is conjunct Rahu or Ketu? Not the other way around.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Sir, till what degrees this conjunction will have the effect?
Till all the 29 to 30 degrees. But the closer it is, the more it is.
Okay, actually, conjunctions means within 15 degrees. Is it like that, sir? Any conjunction of any planets?
Usually what people think as a conjunction is if they are in the same Rashi.
Okay.
Yeah. Usually that is the thinking. However, even if they are in adjacent Rasis and one is in 29 degree, the other one is in 2nd degree, then also they are less than 3 minutes. So let us suppose one planet is in Taurus 29 degree, the other planet is in Gemini 2 degrees. So they are although they are in Taurus and Gemini, two different signs, but they are still conjunct, or there is an effect of the other planet on this planet because they are less than 3 degree 2 minutes. However, the Navamshas are different, so the effect may be a little less. But how do you say? Okay, there are a few planets which, like the moon. Moon exalts at the 2nd degree, 3rd degree thing. So if the moon is in the 2nd degree and the Ketu is on the end of Aries, 29th degree. So the moon and the Ketu are very close, and the Ketu will cast a shadow over the moon. Okay.
Okay.
Was it very difficult to contemplate, or you want me to explain again? No, right? If you listen to it once again,
No.
you get it. Yeah. Lakshmi.
I'm supposed to ask the same thing you already explained. My
Okay.
Ketu is 29th degree in Taurus and moon is 0 degree in Mithuna Rasi.
Right.
You already explained. And one more doubt I have, if the planet Rahu is in Buddha Nakshatra in 10th house and same Rahu is in no, if the planets exchange their nakshatras, what will happen?
No planets are ruling any nakshatras. This is the first thing you have to understand.
In
There
Buddha
are no Buddha
is in
nakshatras. There are no Guru nakshatras.
It is not,
Nakshatras are ruled by nakshatra deities. Okay. So this is a very silly question. I'm not answering this. It will not work like that. It may work only when you are using Vimshottari. When I am teaching Vimshottari will be like 20 classes. Then I'll teach that stuff. Wait till then.
okay. Okay.
Ustad, you can please ask if you're done with your writing of your questions.
Yes, sir. Now I'm ready.
Okay.
So my first question is, can a person with Sun Rahu have a high ego and at the same time be shameless? Because you said
Yeah,
that a person
because who is shameless in all the planets?
Rahu.
No. Rahu is extremely egoistic. Shameless is Saturn.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so there is a Saturn's influence. And sometimes it may so happen that in one sphere of life, the person is having ego and is not leaving shame. In the other sphere of life, the person is showing, shamelessness. Okay, that can also be possible. So D10 has something and D1 has something, D9 has something. Even that can be possible. Does this
Okay, so
answer your question?
Saturn's, yes, kind of.
Okay.
So Saturn's influence is what we have to see.
Mm.
Because I was thinking the person is shameless because of Rahu.
See, I mean, I don't try to be judgmental. Okay, if you're trying to say that if you're trying to show the person in a bad light, okay, because that is generic way of thinking. Because something he does, something he must have done to you, so you're thinking he's a shameless fellow. I mean, don't be of that sort. Just in case if you are.
No,
Okay.
I was not thinking on those lines, but you have presented over here like a person with a very high ego won't be immoral in a
No,
sense.
immoral is
With
different. Shameless is different. You're mixing up two things.
okay, so
Morality is different. Shameless is different. Shame in the sense, let us suppose you don't have money, right? What will you do? You have to beg or borrow or steal, correct?
okay, now I understand. Now I
That is
understand.
what Rahu will prevent from doing. Or Sun doesn't want to do it. He cannot beg. He cannot borrow. He cannot steal.
Both are kings.
Both are kings, right? Now he needs the aspect of Saturn. That is when he will go and borrow. Look, I'm in a trouble. And you need it. Sometimes that aspect will help it. Otherwise, the person will starve but will not go and ask. That is more dangerous, correct?
Yes, correct. Now I get it.
On the ethical side, if there is a Jupiter's aspect, the ethics are going to improve. And also look at the ninth house. The ethics, morals will come from the ninth house. So if ninth house is good, ninth house has what kind of aspects that brings in, the ethical thing, right?
Okay. Now it is very much clear. Second question, you have said that Saturn gives happiness. Did you mean that it gives satisfaction rather than happiness, and then as a result,
I'm just
person?
reading and translating the shloka for you. So I do not mean anything nor say
No,
anything. This is what this shloka reads for us. Mando mudam sarvada. Mudam means happiness. You know why happiness?
Sir,
santosham param sukham.
So the madam
So
is coming up. So Sir Shamala has come up. What is it?
sir, see, my understanding, can I tell? I
Always,
don't know if it
madam.
is correct.
Always. Why only
Sir,
listen to me?
Saturn is the karaka for sorrow in general, right?
Hmm.
So it maybe absence of sorrow is
Correct.
happiness.
Perfect.
Yeah. Just I don't know if it's correct,
That's right.
but just
That's right. That's right.
fine.
One is that, and second is Saturn also rules the 11th house, the fulfillment of desires. So if your desire is fulfilled, you're happy, right?
And sir,
Okay.
can we say acceptance?
Acceptance is Jupiter.
Okay.
because I thought Jupiter gives the happiness,
Every planet gives happiness. Okay,
but
in one or the other
Saturn's
way. Saturn also gives,
I
as we
thought,
said, right? See, sorrow and
yeah,
happiness are the same thing, the two faces of a same coin.
yes,
Okay.
you can say that.
Absence of sorrow is happiness.
But my understanding
Accepting
is
and
that
whatever you have, feeling contented is Jupiter.
again I'm confused. Saturn, you said, will give santosh.
Correct.
That is contentedness. Now you are saying that Jupiter will.
That is what I'm saying. So Santosh is not contentedness.
Oh,
Okay. Santosh does not translate to that. Santosha comes only when your desire is fulfilled. Okay, that is Muda equals Santosha. Contended is Tripti.
Okay.
Tripti comes from Jupiter, the 4th house.
Hmm.
Santosha comes, you are happy. That means you have achieved something. So your desire is achieved. So that is why the Saturn is.
Hmm.
The other facet
it's
of it
fine.
is the Rahu. Yeah.
Now I understood this one also.
Hmm.
One feedback I have regarding Moon Rahu, you were saying
Hmm.
either the person will face fame and or defame.
Hmm.
I have two charts. In both the cases, both person are at a point of time they were very famous,
Hmm.
and after a point of time they were very infamous
I
for
mean,
bad things.
okay.
Both both the cases, and both went into depression also.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
and they couldn't, and they were hiding it from everybody.
Hmm.
But they contacted me, so I got to know that yes, what the thing is, they will face some kind of mental pressure situations,
Hmm.
and however they behave to those,
Hmm.
the results will follow up. So you are
I know a
actually
few
very
charts
correct.
where Moon Rahu are conjunct, but they don't have any mental thing, so we cannot generalize. Okay, that's why I
No,
said either it is the name fame thing, or it can be the pressure thing, or it can show in the case which I just explained, wherein the Pisces is the Lagna, the 3rd house has the Moon and the Rahu, because the brother of the native married into the other caste who is a non-vegetarian, or I don't know what all that they eat, and the community was constantly blaming, and the mother was very unhappy about it. Okay.
mm. So what my take from this is that the challenges will come if
Yes.
you have any conjunctions with Rahu. So
Yes.
in
Yes.
those spheres of life, and
But
I
but
want
but to add, the native had no challenge.
okay.
But the native became little lethargic. The native is lazy. Native doesn't
Yeah,
want to do
that
much.
so that itself is a challenge, not to get
Yes.
himself out of the bed. There is a
But
challenge.
if what if it's a woman, the husband is bringing her all the comforts, even it can show that.
Yeah, it can show that, but then it is also a challenge if the lady wants to take it. If she wants to remain comfortable, gain weight, and get obese and get
She's
a lot
happy
of
with it.
diseases.
Who are you to say? Who are you to say run?
Yes,
She's happy. She's happy
yes,
what she's doing.
yes. I'm no one to say,
Yeah,
but
correct. Don't take me wrong. I'm only trying to, give you the thought.
no, sir. You can say anything. It doesn't matter. And next question is, I want to check my thought of taking a take on chart. A view on chart.
Hmm.
Like as per whatever you have taught till now,
Hmm.
a strong, exalted, or debilitated special position planet only means it is very powerful in delivering its results.
Correct.
Whether they will be good or bad depends on a lot of factors like nakshatra, pada, degrees, and navamsha, etc. positions. Am I correct?
Yes, more or less, yes.
Okay. Any addition to this, sir?
99%. 1% exceptions are always there. That will come in. That will come in
I'd
the
like to
original charts.
elaborate a little more with examples. Like,
Okay.
if you have a special position sun, let's say, you
Hmm.
are going to face, no matter what you say or do, you are going to face challenges regarding your position. Uh, and if it's Saturn, let's say, then it's going to be regarding your profession and your servants,
Hmm.
etc. Like that, I think so. Am I correct?
You're right.
Okay. So at least I'm thinking on the right lines. That's
Hmm. Hmm. But I
what I
would
wanted to
always
know.
recommend use the nakshatras first and then come to the planets.
Yes, I mentioned that
Yeah.
nakshatras Navamsha.
Why we've learned all these planets is actually I did not want to teach any of the planets. I always wanted to teach the nakshatras and then move either to the Navamsha or to the Dashamsha, because a lot of people are teaching um, this stuff. I don't want to spoil their business or do something out of it. But unless I teach you these basics, it's difficult for you people to follow the D9 or the D10. That is one. Second is, if you're trying to prescribe remedies, you need to know what planets can stop a remedy. That is another reason why I'm teaching planets in houses. Otherwise, there are so many people, out there like, offering courses for money, which are very good. I mean, they're big time. You will listen like 120, 130 lectures, and they will be extremely useful. All right, sorry. You can go ahead with your next question.
Yes, sir. So, I was on the question. The planet with special position, yes. So, a special position planet, no matter what you do, will make you face situations. And how you handle those situations will only determine what results you obtain from that planet. And it will not be easy to obtain. That's what my hypothesis is.
No.
You can correct me on that.
Somewhere the voice has gone. Your audio went down. So can you repeat that
So,
last sentence?
if you have a special position planet, the challenges you face will be very great, and how you handle those challenges will only determine what results you end up getting from that planet, and that will not be easy to get in the first place.
Not necessarily. Sometimes the special position planets are going to give you luck or fame or anything by default. Your father, if your father is Sachin Tendulkar, right? So you have everything on the platter ready. Okay. So I'll agree half of the logic for you. Special planets are going to give you special results. This is what even the Panshu also will keep saying. Special planets will give you special results. That is the best way of, let us keep it simple so that we don't, otherwise what happens is everything else is generalized. Nothing works generalized in anybody's horoscope because everybody is special in their own way. So you have to analyze the whole stuff and then only give.
Okay. And next question is regarding Mercury Rahu. You said that it will represent extreme in morals. How does Mercury represents morals? Because Rahu is not going to represent morals. So Mercury, I think you are taking for morals.
Mercury is against Jupiter, right? Mercury stands up against Jupiter. Look at all those houses Mercury is ruling. Mercury is exactly ruling the opposite houses of what Jupiter is ruling.
Okay.
Jupiter rules the morals, and Mercury says, why do you have to establish a moral? Why is it needed? Why do you have to go and create an ethical thing? Do keep going for money. Why keep saying, look, no, you shouldn't be earning more than this. This is let us suppose you're making your product at 5 rupees. You can't be selling this at 100 rupees. This is what Jupiter will say. Mercury will say, look, what is an acceptable price in the market? Right? You understand business, right?
Yes.
So what is the acceptable price point in the market? What is the competition selling the nearest price point? So keep either 5 rupee less or 5 rupee higher, depending on what your USP is. This is what Mercury will keep saying. Jupiter will exactly say the opposite of it. What is your cost of goods? What is your COGS? Add a fixed profit and sell it. Don't make too much of money. Now, both are right. Okay, I'm not trying to say Jupiter is wrong and Mercury is right, or neither say Mercury is wrong or Jupiter is right. Both are right in their own ways. Rahu will enhance that thing because Rahu is again the same guy, more of Mercury. So why follow all that ethics? Jupiter will push you into unnecessary ethics. Does this answer your question?
No, it doesn't, because you said that it will make you go into extremities in morals. Either the person will become very ethical or he will become totally immoral. So how can a person become totally very ethical if he has a Mercury Rahu? If he can.
There can be because the highest height of Mercury is Jupiter. If Mercury can attain that height, right, then in certain conditions, Mercury Rahu conjunction can make a Jupiter himself. That is the height of it.
So you are saying that Mercury should, be enticed.
You are right.
Or feel.
Let me correct my sentence. I said that. I said it for a reason. 99.99% of cases, it will not. As you said, it will be there. Mercury Rahu can never become Jupiter.
Yes. Okay.
Only in 0.01% cases, Mercury Rahu can become a Jupiter. If the Mercury Rahu both are in special positions in many other places.
What my understanding is, the Mercury and Rahu has to covet the position of Jupiter, or whatever Jupiter is doing. It must feel that it is their competition.
Correct.
And then they'll work to
Correct.
surpass.
And
Else they will not.
They want to understand why Jupiter is being respected, right? Why Rahu is looking at, look, I want to be that. Why Jupiter is being respected? Mercury also wants the same thing. Why is Jupiter being respected? I have more knowledge. I have more wisdom than Jupiter. If you put a competition between Jupiter and Mercury, Mercury will win. Mercury will win because he knows the tactics. Jupiter is not coming to the competition at all. He will say, look, I refrain from the competition. I give up. I renounce. You want to give a prize? Give it to Mercury. I'm not even participating. I'm giving up right away. Okay. Now, still Jupiter is respected. Mercury wants that position. Why? He is respected. I should be respected more. Now, Rahu also says the same thing. Now we are together. If both of them to get together and try to understand why Jupiter is being really respected, they can grow up to Jupiter.
Yes.
Okay. That is what I'm saying. That is the height of it. But that necessarily will not happen most times because both these planets are earthly planets. Both these planets are earthy planets. They will still push you into the materialism side. Okay.
They will outdo Jupiter immorally. They'll find flaws and do things.
Yes.
I totally understood now. And next question is, can we use Jupiter to denote unspoken laws of the society, which we commonly refer to as beliefs?
Beliefs and superstitions.
No, my question is, can we use Jupiter to denote unspoken laws of the society?
That is sun. Unspoken laws is all sun.
Okay, so
clearly defined, written down constitution, law, or anything as Jupiter.
But sir, you said SOP, standard operating procedure.
That is written down, right?
And guidelines?
That is also written down.
I thought laws were written down and guidelines
not
and
like
SOPs.
That. I will tell you what I'll tell you. There is a female toilet. You will not go into it, right? You don't have to write that male are not allowed here, right?
Okay.
That is ruled by sun. Okay.
Okay. Understood. And Jupiter Rahu gives the knowledge to make the laws or break the laws. Yes. So one feedback that you said that Jupiter Rahu gives the knowledge to make the laws or break the laws.
Yeah.
So that's correct. I have broken a lot of laws and I have it. And I knew how to break them. Actually, it is kind of a bad karma, but in my school days, what I did was I
have Jupiter Rahu in the 5th house or 9th house?
10th house, but very closely.
Which Rashi is it?
It is in Libra.
Okay, go ahead.
So what I did was I got my there was a fees regarding something. They were taking us to some place which I was not willing to go.
Okay.
So what I did, I somehow got it deducted from my teacher's account rather than my own, and I forced the slip also.
Okay.
So he became confused. How was this guy able to achieve this? And from my end, it was paid. So even the cashier was not able to tell. Although it is a bad karma, but yes, this works. It gives you the knowledge, and I've done it multiple times in various fields. Now I refrain from it. I know the ins and outs of a lot of things. I don't will to, but these things come to me. And after getting into astrology, I got to know that this is all bad things I have been doing. So I left it. So yes, this is a very, very vital point which people must learn, because I have lived it, so I can vouch for it. Last question,
it means that it has enhanced the Jupiter now. Okay.
Yeah, now I'm running the Jupiter Dasha, so I now know what the heck I was doing in my Rahu Dasha. I I cannot explain you what things I have committed.
Get it? Okay.
So last question I want to. Yes, you said Ketu rules war and Jupiter rules peace. So I don't understand why Ketu will rule war, but does Ketu rule war just because it wants to end everything, or there is any
Yes.
other reason for it?
One is Ketu is headless. See, intelligent people do not get into arguments. I think somebody made, I was just reading through all the people's status, WhatsApp status, right? Intelligent people do not argue. Somebody wrote this in our group itself. I was just reading this just before the class. It struck me so much. And also Ketu has two swords. Shyamala has reminded. So Ketu is looking at war constantly. He's thinking.
Okay.
He's thinking that constantly there has to be a war, because headless people only go into fight. People who have heads or brains will think, let's earn money, right? Let's not fight. Let there be a win-win situation. Why there is somebody has to win and somebody has to lose? This is a very foolish act. Let there be a win-win. That is why Jupiter is debilitating, right? If you remember the Uttarashada Nakshatra, Jupiter was debilitating because people did not know there is a win-win. Okay?
Yes, exactly.
So Ketu is the kind of planet who exalts there when the war starts, because people are trying to plot against each other. Now people have lost all the ethics. Now people do not want to follow anything. They just want to be in war. They're finding faults with everyone, which is Ketu. Okay. That is why Ketu is war.
Okay, so I think that's it.
And moreover, Ketu exalts in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is war, and this is peace. Cancer is peace. If you remember,
how come Sagittarius is a war? You said Capricorn is the war. Sagittarius.
Yeah, Sagittarius last pada is war.
Okay, last pada is war.
That is where Uttarashada is.
That transition.
And it continues into the Capricorn. That is where the lion's tail is. If you remember the Uttarashada, the lion's tail ends in Sagittarius. Okay, or in the Scorpio it ends actually, but it extends till the Sagittarius. That is where the lion's tail is. In fact, the one that starts in the Magha will end actually in the Uttarashada only, but we take it in the Scorpio it ends. That's a bigger concept. When we get into furthermore, I will tell you, because it will further confuse unnecessary. For now, what you understand is Uttarashada is the war thing. Okay, and Ketu exalts that. And you also see the for war you need weapons. Weapons are all there in the dhanas, because dhanas means bow and arrow, right?
Preparation for war.
Preparation for war. So unless there is preparation for war, there is no war. That happens in the Sagittarius. That's why it's the initiation of war.
Initiation of war. Yes, that's what the difference. That's what I was asking. Today's lecture, summed up a lot of things for me. A lot of things struck in my mind.
Good to hear.
Today's lecture was a great summing up of a lot of things. Thanks.
Welcome. Anybody else has any comments, or should we end it?
So can I ask one thing?
Yes, why not?
You said Ketu gives children also, child. Just little elaborate on that.
Okay, Venus is a mixture of Rahu and Ketu. Look at the semen under the microscope. It has a head and it has a tail. When the ovum, when the sperm gets in contact with the ovum opens up. the head goes in, the Rahu goes in, and the tail is cut off from the ovum, because the ovum closes immediately once the Rahu gets in. So why is Ketu required? Is Ketu will help you travel through, right? If you're released as a sperm, the head cannot travel. So Ketu is the tail that will help you travel, and the one which travels faster is the only sperm that is going to win the race, and ultimately you get into the womb of the mother. You get it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And also there is a lot more to it. Ketu Kulasya Unnati means Ketu is the Karka for heaven. If you have to have heaven, you need to have children.
Right.
As per the Dharma Shastra, people who are childless are denied Swarga.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Right, sir. But I was listening to Magha lecture today. So now, right, sir. So yeah, understanding it. Got it, sir. Ketu. Right. Got it. Thank you, sir.
All right. Anybody else?
Hi, sir.
Sorry.
Sir Kumar here. Today is the first class I joined here.
Okay.
I have a question, but I'm not sure whether it is relevant here for today's session.
Okay, what's your question?
Yeah. See, I see in the 6th house a conjunction of Saturn, Moon, and Mars in sign 8. Is this combination is kind of
Okay, I think you're kind of primitive right now. I mean, no offense to what I said. Please go and read the nakshatra classes first. I think probably you know how to use Jagannath Hora, right? Install Jagannath Hora, listen to the nakshatra videos, and understand it from there. It will take some time to digest. Probably you look very very beginner right now to me. So it will take some time for you to digest. Please be patient.
Sure, sir. Okay.
Please go through the lectures. It will take some time for you.
Sure, sir. I'll do that. Thank you.
Somebody else was asking a question.
Yeah, sir, it's me, Raj. So we are saying technically Ketu helps creation, which is kids.
Yeah.
And also at the same time can do the destruction.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Correct.
Yeah.
I'll give you the same logic again. See, as I just explained it to the other lady who was asking how Ketu is Kulasya Unnatim. See, how do you become a sperm? You're died and then you become a sperm, right?
Oh yeah, got it. Yeah.
So there is a destruction and then creation.
Right. Okay, okay. Yeah, your prana is dying. Yeah,
you'll be released only if you're dead. You cannot be coming out as a sperm if you're alive.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's like losing prana to give prana.
Yes, losing the prana and getting the prana once again.
Okay. The second question I have is, and one of the video I came to know that if the sun is under 1 degree, then it might affect the lineage.
Yes.
Now, will Ketu, and if Ketu is with Sun, let's say.
No, look, I have done a complete article on childlessness. Okay.
Okay.
Go to Saptamsha.
Yeah.
And you can see childlessness here.
Okay. I will go through that. Thank you.
It details you everything.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Sir, it's amazing. I went through it again. I mean,
yeah, if you apply those rules,
yes, sir.
Nothing more than that.
It really works.
Yeah, it works completely.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yes.
Right.
No horoscope that is childless will fall out of it. All of them will fall here only.
Yes, sir.
Done? Yes.
A quick question.
Yes.
Like all the rules what you just covered under the Rahu Ketu for different planets, will that be the same for any retrograde planets, or is that different?
I want to take another class on retrograde. However, it will be the same for now.
Okay. Okay. And will these rules hold good for all different divisional charts or only on D1?
Right now, we're talking only about D1. With all divisional charts, you have to deal them separately. They are very different.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.